Hi guys, I'm back. Yes, I'm not actually dead or stopped YouTube or anything. I haven't uploaded a video in a while, although I did do a video where I went to a book signing by Holly Smale and it was awesome, and I actually did a little bit of an interview with her, which was amazing. It was so much fun. The first time I ever interviewed someone, and I didn't prepare anything because my mom came up with the idea whilst we were in the car towards the book signing. But it was a lot of fun, and if you haven't seen the video yet, please do. I'll leave it at the end of this video. I was actually already a little bit ill by then. I had a bit of a fever, and you can probably see that in that video because I turned quite red, and yeah, I wasn't feeling too great, but good enough fortunately to go to the book signing anyway, and to the book fair, which this video is about. The reason why I didn't upload much is because I was ill. I had quite a high fever, I have the flu, and I actually had to go to the doctor to get medicine, so it was pretty bad. And I'm feeling kind of better now. My throat's still a little bit sore. Should not have said that. And yeah, I'm not 100% yet, but I really want to make a video, so here we are. This is my book fair book haul. So I went to the Boekenfestijn and I shot a few clips there, not a lot, so either I'm gonna put it before this video or after this video, or make a separate video if it turned out to be more footage than I think. But yeah, you'll find out. I just don't know yet. You know more than I do right now. But I just want to show you the books that I bought. I tried to be a little bit hard on myself, I guess, and not buy all the books that I thought were interesting, and kind of really like, do you really want this book? And so I put a few books back. I sorted out my cart after I went through all the tables and put a few books back, but there's still a nice collection here, and I want to show them to you. So I count my books. I put them in an Excel document so that I can keep track of the kind of books, all the books that I have and how many. And I have 999 books, which is awesome and horrible at the same time. And the first book, or actually box set, that I picked up at the book fair is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy set. So I guess the first one, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is the first book in the series, is book number 1000. So that's pretty cool. This set, they had the set for a few years now, and my brother has it, so I never thought like, I can always read his copies, but now I saw it and there were only a few left. I was like, you know what, I really want them, and it's only 10 euros, which isn't bad for 5 books. So yeah, I'm glad I bought them. If you don't know, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's awesome. It's basically sci-fi, and it's silly. It's really silly and really funny, and you should read them. They're hilarious. They're by Douglas Adams. So one thing I was really happy and excited about when I saw them is this Torchwood books. Yeah, I love Torchwood. I love Doctor Who. If you don't know what it is, you have Doctor Who, you probably heard of that. You probably are a fan. I hope. If not, you should go watch it and stick through the first half of the first season, because it's not the best one. And then it gets awesome. And there's also a spin-off series called Torchwood, which is nowhere near as good as Doctor Who if you ask me, but it's still pretty awesome. And these are 3 books that basically, I think, tell what happens after Torchwood, so that's pretty cool. You have Torchwood Firstborn by James Goss, and Torchwood, the man who something the world. There's a sticker on it. The man who sold the world, and this one is A Long Time Dead. So that's pretty cool, and I'm really excited to see what they're all about and what happens. They're all they're all prequels to Torchwood Miracle Day, so that's pretty cool. Oh, the prequels, not sequels. So it's actually what happens before the last season. But yeah, I'm really excited to read them. Oh, and Long Time Dead is by Sarah Pinsborough, and The Man Who Sold the World is by Guy Adams. Then we have In the Hall of the Dragon King by Stephen R. Lawhead, and I think I already have a book by him. I think I have a book called Hood by him. It was only €4, and basically the cover kind of grabbed me. I like the way the cover looks and the back. I'm not sure what it was about anymore because it was a few weeks ago. Okay, so apparently there's a Dragon King, which the title says, and he sends them on a quest. Quentin and his outland companion Thedo are plunged headlong into a fantastic odyssey that leads them throughout Mensador. Danger lurks at every turn. It just sounded cool, and it wasn't expensive, so yeah, kind of had to have it. I also have Scarlet, A Plague is Coming by Thomas Empson, with a creepy looking cover. And basically there's this drug in London and people take it and they die, but then they come back to life and they're basically vampires. And I thought it was a really interesting way to remake the vampire myth with in the modern world with drugs. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what this is about, and I really want to read it soon. Then we have Darren Shan, Birth of a Killer. This is actually part 1 in a new series, I think. You have the Cirque du Freak, I think, series. I'm not sure what they're called. There's a movie about the first book. I'll put it here. It's really well-known series, and I have the first book, I think. So when I saw Darren Shan, I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good, and it sounded interesting. This is about Larton Crepsley and everything that happens to him and how he gets into a vampire clan and all kinds of stuff, and it looked awesome, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. And this was only $2.50. Now I have a book that I wasn't entirely sure about. It's called The Immortality, there's a sticker in the way, Engine, The Immortality Engine, by George Mann. And basically the cover looks so awesome. Focus, yes. There's Queen Elizabeth, I think, and oh no, Queen Victoria, I mean. There's Queen Victoria and, you know, the zodiac and everything. So basically, and there's tarot cards, and the cover basically did it for me with this one, and it's a steampunk novel, so that's pretty cool. And I think this isn't part 1, but it sounded like you could read them separately, so I have to look it up online first if you can read them separately, or if I should buy part 1 first. If you know this series, please let me know. But yeah, this is one of those cases of I had to have it because of the cover, and I said before that I was gonna be hard on myself, and I was, because I really doubted for a long time if I was gonna buy this, but I put away some other books and then I was allowed to keep this one, and it was €4. Then we have 2 more books that I wasn't entirely sure about, because I think this is book 2 and 3 and not book 1. Okay, so yeah, this is book 2. It's called Olska Pollock, The Forest of Lost Souls by, I believe, Anne Plichota and Sandrine Wolf, I think, because there are 2 names on there, so I assume they're both the writers. And it's second book in the Olska Pollock series. And it looks really cool. I think it's, I'm not quite sure what it's about anymore, because I didn't want to read too much of the cover because it's part 2, so I'll probably get spoilers, but I saw demons and elves and a forest of lost souls, and it just sounded really interesting. So I figured I'd buy these now, because they weren't expensive, £3 each, and then try and get part 1 somewhere. I also bought part 3, which is a beautiful heart copy, and was also just £3, which is really cheap for a hardcover. Yeah, and it just looked awesome, and unfortunately they didn't have the first one. Kind of a bummer, but I bought them, and I'm probably gonna put them in storage until I have money to buy the first book. Now usually I buy a lot of manga at the book fair, but they didn't have a lot of manga anymore. Like, it's dwindling every single time. Like every single time I go there, there's less and less manga. They used to have like 2 or 3 huge tables, and now they have like this tiny section. But they did have manga I didn't have before, only I already put them away. I have one of them here. It's by Naomi Novik. Will supervillains be on the final? Basically it's about superhero school. And I thought that sounded really interesting, and it was only 150, and I think it had like 30% off as well on top of that. And I also bought one book for I think like part 8 or something of what's it called again, Tsubasa, the Tsubasa series, which I love, and I have a lot of them. And I accidentally bought 2 that I thought I didn't have because I forgot my list. Turns out I had them, so I have 2 to spare. But anyway, I'm happy with this one, and I'm happy with my Tsubasa one, but hope that next time or the time after that they have more manga again. I also ventured over to the normal comic books, and my brother actually found this one, Star Wars Dark Empire, which he thought it was the entire series, but it's just part 1. But the drawings look pretty cool, and I love Star Wars, and it was only €2, which isn't bad at all. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to read this. So those were all the novels that I bought, and now are some other knickknacks and books. First of all, I love Nightmare Before Christmas, and they had so much Nightmare Before Christmas stuff with Jack on it. This little notebook, it wasn't extremely, okay, see it? Cheap. This was 150, but you can't get this stuff in the Netherlands. Another cute little notebook for 150, which looks adorable and creepy. And a big notebook for €2. And I think I also bought a pen, which is still somewhere in my bag. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Then I also bought A Brief History of Vampires by M.G. Trow. And if you know me, you know I love vampires, and I've loved vampire books since I can remember. And this is basically just, you know, a lot of myths and stuff about vampires, and it says from Vlad the Impaler to Edward Cullen in search of the allure of vampires. So it's not a novel, it's more scholarly, I guess, about vampires, and I really like that, and I really want to read it. I also thought this book was cute, and it looked awesome. Like, I love it when I make books that look like they're old, and leather bound even if they're not. This was only €2, and it's called The Werewolf Handbook, an essential guide to werewolves, and more importantly, how to avoid them. I thought it was pretty cool. It has a little elastic band, and just, you know, I love these kind of books. I'm a sucker for these that look old-fashioned, and they tell about myths and history and just facts about werewolves. They had them about zombies as well, but those were, I think, like €10 for some reason. Same book, but then about zombies, and I'm not really that interested in zombies anyway. But this one's really cool. I love reading about this stuff, so I can't wait to read that either. And I do actually have to read them. I have so many books about this. I always love them. I always want to read them, and then I forget because I just basically read novels all the time. And my camera just stopped. I'm not sure where it stopped, but so yeah, so basically I always read novels, so I forget to read these kind of books a lot of the time, so I really have to remind myself to read those as well. We're almost finished. I also got this book. Okay, wow, my battery is flashing as well. This is going great. One Small Step, celebrating the first man on the moon, and it was only €3, but I got 50% off because the spine is broken. But it has this awesome 3D picture on it, and it's basically one of those, you know, I'm not sure what you call them, envelope books, I guess, with all those little flaps, flap books with all those little things that you can look in, and it looks like a scrapbook, and I love that. I love these kind of books, and I kind of want to know more about the moon landing. Like, I know the basics, but I want to know more about it. So yeah, I thought it was a really fun book for that. More werewolves. I think this might actually be sort of a story as well. It's just called Werewolves. It's €2, and on the back it says, this illustrated journal was found by a group of hikers on the outskirts of blah 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 national park blah blah blah. And it basically, this girl Alice documents the few weeks after she and her brother are bitten by a werewolf, and it has pictures in it. And so yeah, I guess you could kind of say this is a novel, but it's really awesome. I just thought it looked really cool, and it was only €2, so I really want to read this as well. So many books, so little time. I actually have a necklace that says that. Of course, I couldn't leave this. The Book of Dragons. I have so many books about dragons, but I love dragons. By Giuello? I have no idea. And it's all shiny and pretty, and I love these kinds of books. They're so pretty. Just like looking at them, like leafing through them like this, maybe a little bit slower. It just makes me want to write and just gets me pumped and inspired. And I really want to read it as well. So like with the other books, I have to read them. Like I want to read them so bad, and then I forget. Don't know why. I also bought this little book. It's 1001 Ways to Enjoy Life. It's in Dutch, so 1001 manieren om te genieten van het leven. And basically it's this little book with what it says, like 1001 little things, like things you can do to improve your life and enjoy it and be happy. And I just thought it was cute and to leaf through it. And if you're feeling down, or I don't know, have some time to spare, just read a few of the little entries. And okay, so my camera stopped working. I have no idea what I was saying, but yeah, this book, just thought it was interesting and cute, and I just can read it. I have no idea where I left off. I have to change the battery and the card. But I did remember that I also bought this book, wasn't on my pile. The Heart of the Buddha Path by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And it was a little bit expensive. It was €5. And basically I've been reading another book by the Dalai Lama and someone else who interviewed him and basically put the book together. And yeah, I've always been interested in Buddhism, and I like to learn more about it. And you know, the Dalai Lama is a pretty wise guy, and he's happy, and he has a lot of good advice on being happy, and I just like reading about it. But yeah, I really like to read about compassion and everything. And the other book that I'm reading by him is pretty interesting, so I hope this one is gonna be interesting as well. And then last but not least, another book about dragons. And it looks so cool. Look at it. It's the Dragon Chronicles. It was only €3. It's called The Labyrinth of Fire, and just it's hardback and just looks so amazing. I absolutely love the cover art, and on the inside looks pretty cool as well. The way the pages are. Difficult book to hold up. And there are pictures in it which are just stunning and amazing, and I love it. Again, this is supposedly a reproduction of someone's journal who probably encountered dragons, but it's awesome. I love these kind of books, like I already told you. And I can't wait to read this one either. I guess I just have to put them near my bed so I actually pick them up. That was everything. I'm getting a bit tired and hot, so I'm probably gonna go downstairs and lie on the couch or something with something cool to drink. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to read any of these books, or if you read them, or if there are book fairs near where you live, because I love that we have this book fair called Boekenfestijn, where I bought all these books, which were pretty cheap, especially for Dutch standards. They were extremely cheap. And I love to know about more book fairs. I probably never go there unless it's close to the Netherlands, but you never know. yeah, that was it, and I hope to make more videos soon. I have a lot of videos that I want to make, some sketch videos, and I have like 6,000 wrap-up videos. I'm probably gonna show you like all the books really fast and then just pick a few and talk about them in more depth in separate videos, because I read so many and I just didn't upload any wrap-up videos. And I think I also have another whole video coming up. Lots of exciting stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it did, I would love it if you give it a thumbs up and left a comment. I love reading your comments. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe. It's free. It will make my day. And you'll be notified when I make more videos. So that was it. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you read all of the books. And I'll see you soon. Doei!